Then I was given a justification of if it had to be 20 hours a week. So, y'all think about it and then finish off. I don't have May and June. You want me to speak? Oh, no, I'll have to be in the, okay. May have had it, so that's fine. Right, you can speak off, but with the, without May and June, with the average of what we had of the 10 months, May and June would be $18.53 per month. So, I mean, it's still down because of the June and July of last year, and March and April this year, and February. And it did come back to a closer figure that we believed it would be, but it still is running much higher than we had given thought to what it was supposed to be last year at this time when we adopted the beer clause.
Okay, questions?
I have one. Mr. Jackson, are you saying that you're dissatisfied with the code job that they're doing now?
Certainly.
Oh, you think they're being paid too much money for what they're doing?
Oh, certainly.
Okay, you said you rode around, you didn't take pictures or anything, so that doesn't.
I got out. I didn't take pictures. I wasn't going to
No,
on the
that's what I'm
phone.
saying, you did, but the code inspector did.
Well, that's a 5-minute job to walk up to a.
Well, maybe his camera's not 5 minutes.
Well, we all got smartphones now, so yes, it is.
Well, not everybody.
Well, okay, but anybody who's doing that type of work.
You're just dissatisfied with what they're doing.
Uh,
Or either you're dissatisfied with what they're being paid.
with
Wait a minute now. Yes, I am.
the cross standard law.
I'm sorry.
Well,
This is between.
Right, and you're exactly right. And since you brought it up, and y'all, some of the council members saying I'm being revenged for you, you're all part of it.
I said,
Yes, you want, and I want to say this. And I got wrote up in June last year. Oh, well, I apologize. I wasn't wrote up to December last year. I was laughingly informed that I need to move the refrigerator off my porch. We was remodeling. And I was in violation of the code at that time. And at that time, it rocked on December, I got a letter. And I removed that. Some other little things come up, and that's fine, and they was corrected. But I was the only person in Statham, Georgia, that was written a citation and went to court June 2nd, last week of this month. There was never another citation written to anybody except for me. And it came after I had this meeting. Betty and Hattie had a meeting a week prior because we all can't meet with them. Dwight and I had the meeting following that. And I got a citation 5 weeks prior to June 2nd. And I mean, that's fine. If I was in violation, I was in violation. And the answer to me that everybody else got in compliance except for me.
Mr. Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
When you got your first, how many citations you got?
Only one.
Only one, but you didn't comply with it. You did.
No, I didn't get the citation till 4 weeks prior to June 2nd.
So you saying that you prolonged the time in doing what you were supposed to do. So that's more time for them doing their work. So naturally, if they're gonna do the work, they're gonna get paid for it. So you caused some of that expense yourself. Now, I had a letter from the person that they would enjoy Statham being cleaned up. They got a citation too, but they went ahead and cleaned up their space.
I'm sure they did some good things around here. I'm not denying that. No, I'm not denying they did several good stuff. I mean, they did some good work. I'm not sitting here taking away they didn't do the work. I'm just saying I think it could have been done more efficiently, less costly to the city. I'm showing you an opportunity to the council and city that we can do in-house for much less money. And
Okay.
I would like to speak on this. And I remember when we took this meeting with Bureau Veritas about what they were charging us for. And Juan, the supervisor for the code enforcement, actually presented the information the data that they put into the system, and the records that they're keeping on, what they're doing, pretty much, I was pretty impressed, because I was skeptical about Bureau Veritas when we started this a year ago. But they pretty much, to me, validated what they're doing for the city.
What, they did, they could not have, you said it was a reason, but they could not justify it, he told you that.
Just let me finish.
Just let the light.
So, they provided enough information for, for me to be
Okay,
somewhat
I'll check.
satisfied.
Yes.
Anyway, the other issue I had was that Bureau Veritas is providing the city some autonomy from code enforcement. We don't need control over code enforcement. We need to be autonomous. We don't want to influence the code enforcement department. We need to step back and let them do their job. And for us to, we've already been through this once. For us to put it in-house, add another officer, add the money to the budget, rearrange, we just went through this, we just changed this last year. And it seems to be working. I think it's very important to acknowledge the relationship that exists between the city and Bureau Veritas and the services they're providing, because when we shut that door, it's done. And there's no going back. And I guarantee you might ask the chief, there's not a lot of code enforcement qualified people ready to go to work. Everybody is working right now. And the talent pool for this department, this field of work is basically non-existent.
So there's a difference between planning and code enforcement. The qualifications for planning and building are difficult to achieve. Code enforcement only requires a small amount of training, a couple of courses, and it's done. The question is, are we being fiscally responsible by continuing to pay more money than what we could do it for? Is that what you're advocating?
Well, here's the problem. You don't know what you're going to get.
Actually, yes, you do. If as far as code enforcement,
No, you don't. Because we know what we have right now with Bureau Veritas, and they're giving the job to them. I'm sorry you had a bad experience. I know.
No, it's one that, don't put a bad experience on me. It's
No, I'm just saying.
Because like I said, I did have one, but no, I didn't, because I created part of it. No,
Yeah,
so
I'm
I
just
was
saying,
part of the
I
problem.
understand
of it.
why
Right.
everybody feels the way they do.
Right, but I was
think
part
it's
of the problem.
important that we retain Bureau Veritas and their services and let them continue doing what we hired them to do.
Okay, more questions? Yes, ma'am.
I had a question, Mr. Jackson.
Mhm.
You said that I think you said you received your citation in June,
No, about 4 weeks prior to June.
so you hadn't received one prior to that, and I'm asking because.
No, I had not.
I
I
know
had not, no
personally-
one's going to court.
From personal experience,
Right.
I know that you had a great deal more than a refrigerator, that your neighbors have been pretty upset about.
Well, now see,
years since
you're asking my
2017.
question, and, all right, do you have evidence that's neighbor, I have some neighbors that complain, do you have that?
Would you're asking me? to
Yeah, do you have
give
some,
them my-
definite,
their names?
people that would come
I'm not
forward?
gonna give you their names, you know your neighbors, but I
No,
can
yeah,
tell
I
you
don't know of anybody.
I will tell you from personal experience, because I walked up and down Price Street. in
Okay, but you're
2017.
not even a citizen, so you don't have a right to even speak to me tonight about
I do have a
code
right to
enforcement.
speak to you.
No, you do not.
Well, I'm
Not
sorry,
about,
but I do.
what about my
All right,
dog?
all
I'm
right,
just
just
telling you.
hold it, just hold it. Yes,
Is there a list of ordinances or criteria that the citizens have access to,
You do.
Do you create code? It's a nationally recognized municipal code book that Bureau Veritas is using, if I'm not mistaken.
That's what they did use, but they should use ours.
but
We do have ordinance and codes, yes. It's two ways they can work.
can a
Well, I
citizen get
did,
a
I
copy
will
of
tell you,
that?
I went to, well, you asked that question. I did go to court the other night, January 2nd. And the codes they wrote me has not been explained to me yet. They could not, I asked to be explained prior to, not at 6 o'clock at the meeting. I went to the police station and said, can you get Veritas and the police, or Tracy, I spoke to Tracy, and give me these codes, because one of them said that it was trash and debris. That was one of them. And I'll tell you this like anybody else. Some things they said was trash, it wasn't trash to me. It was a four-wheeler that wasn't running. And just some stuff, and I did become, I did nothing, at the end, I did nothing wrong, and I was cleared up because I cleaned the place up. It really wasn't nothing to it, it was about a couple hours, but I made a point.
But you said we have, the city of Statham has a code book or a list.
We should, yes. Well, we're supposed to, I'd have it, and we'll look it up for you if you want to see where we go. But exactly right. We have a state and a universal code that you can work from.
We do that.
Well, and I mean, I'm going to, if any other questions to me, if not, I mean, the chief he's coming up and speaking also, and he probably can elaborate a little bit more on the codes than I can.
As a citizen, I can see what your presentation is basically showing, that every month it seemed it was going up and up and up in the dollar amount. And then you said that you and Dwight could not get them to justify where these hours were.
Now,
being
again, now,
So
we didn't
there
get it
has
from
to
the
be a
county.
certain amount of policing, even if you're going to outsource, because you're still spending the citizens' money. So there still has to be some check and balance somewhere.
Oh, I agree.
And
But I feel if we have, well, if you don't mind, Chief has got a proposal here. He won't read it all, but he's next in the line. If y'all will let him come up, and maybe he can answer the questions a little bit better. Well, I know he can answer the questions a little bit better because I'm just a layman, and I've tried to study a little bit, but I don't have all the answers.
I think we discussed enough.
Right, I agree.
Next person.
Okay, Chief Johnston?
I think Mike put a copy of the protocol that would be followed should we be tasked with this endeavor instead of Bureau Veritas. It's basically cut and dry. It's a three-tier approach to it. Basically, we either receive a complaint from a citizen within the city or anywhere for that matter, or we visually see a violation. And when I talk about a violation, I talk about a violation of our city ordinances, which we have in place by a code section that addresses everything from grass height to refrigerators that are not secured, the doors are taken off, not taken off, right down to traffic. And we have the opportunity to use those codes whenever necessary. Say for instance, a dog, we have a code in ordinances for tethering dogs, which is a violation in the city, under city ordinances. We can cite that under our department. And it would be the same in code enforcement if you guys chose to do that. And basically the tier that we would go through is we get the violation or see the violation personally. We make contact with the resident or the occupant, which is within the code of ordinance in the city of Statham. And there was some extra steps that we would not be required to do. We make contact, we take photographs, we look at the size of the job at hand, and we determine, you know, a legitimate and reasonable timeline to have that fixed. They would be issued a warning citation instead of sending a letter to the property owner, because the ordinance covers occupant or resident tenant the same as it does property owner. They would be issued a written warning, and on that written warning, they would have the deadline that has been set and agreed upon by whoever the officer is that makes contact with them and the person that we're dealing with. We come to a mutual agreement, what type of resources do you have, and so forth. So when that's set, we come back in tier 2 for a reinspection at the deadline. If that is not taken care of during that time, we would issue a citation to appear before the judge to let him make the decision in the court. We also give an opportunity in that session to say, you have the option of fixing it by the next day. If you wish to do that, we'll come back and recheck. If not, we also offer them the option of the city taking the debris or whatever it is away, and a surcharge being added on the citation in the court to cover the cost that it would take, either manpower or equipment power, whatever it would take for it to be removed. The bottom line is we're looking for compliance, not a bankroll. And, you know, if it's fixed, that's the whole point, is the beautification and safety of the citizens, depending on the type of job or how big the job is at hand. And it takes both, not just the citizen, it takes cooperation of us as a city and the person that has the problem going on in order to get that done for the overall objective of making Statham a clean looking and safe place to be. And I hope you guys have a copy of this. If you don't, you can have one. Did you want me to address the ordinances that they were talking about? Or did anybody have a question with that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'd like to, one thing I've been concerned about for quite a while is you notice people throw couches out. That may lay there a month or so before anything gets done with it. They'll leave it right out front, leave it there, and it's just not happening for us cleanly. I'm concerned about that personally. That's one thing I've got that I think this would hit. Any more questions on it? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, what's all we got next?
All right, next we have capital for action, lost talk about elections and city policies.
Okay.
So
as each of you are aware, I have a lawsuit pending against the city regarding violations of the Georgia Open Meetings Act. And this lawsuit resulted after numerous explanations to Ms. Chang and Ms. Fortney, and warnings about violating the law, just hoping that they would correct those violations and not continue them. But that hasn't happened, and no corrective action has been taken. And it has seemed to be the policy of the city of Statham to take no corrective action and to simply sit back and wait for people to file lawsuits about various things because they're not getting satisfaction from just asking for change. All of this was easily avoidable, and I personally am aware of 10 such lawsuits currently in process that could have been avoided had the city taken action, and there are more to come. I believe most of your citizens would prefer that you take corrective action rather than waiting for lawsuits to be filed time after time. The Open Meeting Act is a relatively simple, short law with rules about how city meetings must be conducted. And many of those rules involve such things as posting the agendas, notification of meeting dates, closed meetings, how to take minutes, and I'll just state right now from Ms. Fortney, the minutes and the summary of actions I got yesterday does not reflect what happened in this meeting on June 6th and needs to be corrected. So I'll look for that to be corrected. Just one example of this law that is being violated tonight is Code Section 5014.3, and that says, quote, "Every agency subject to this chapter shall prescribe the time, place, and dates of regular meetings of the agency. Such information shall be available to the general public, and a notice containing such information shall be posted at least 1 week in advance and maintained in a conspicuous place available to the public at the regular place an agency meets, as well as the agency website." So that's not been done for this meeting nor any meeting ever. And tonight, what I've given you, Mayor, and to your city attorney, it's a one-time offer to settle the current open meetings action that we have pending. If you choose to adopt it, it must be voted on tonight, and it must be adopted tonight. I'm not holding my breath, but it's a very good offer for the city, and it serves the citizens by limiting the city's losses to $5,000. So why is this a good offer for you? It's a great offer because the civil action details over 30 violations of the Open Meetings Act, which are punishable by $1,000 each minimum under the law. That would be over $30,000. These violations are all black and white and irrefutable, and the outcome is certain that the city will lose that case. For the sake of your citizens, I hope that you will consider this as the best offer the city will receive from me regarding this matter. I'll let you know right now, the next time I make an offer, if I do, it will be not for less than $10,000.
Thank you.
And it's not a negotiation. The final terms are dictated in the agreement.
Thank you.
Well, okay, I have one question for you, please.
Sure.
I've been on the council for 18 months now, and you've been here for every meeting, which is fine, except for the ones you were asked to, that you were restricted to come to. And I do have this is the question. Who do you actually represent besides Mary and Roger back there? Who do you
I don't represent anyone
Well,
like me.
as citizens of state of Georgia, who do you want to, what do you want out of, I guess the concern, I don't read the concerned citizen blog, but,
Well, somebody in your group does.
okay, that's fine.
All right.
Eddie, I want you to know, no one represents me except me.
Okay, but the point being,
Okay.
y'all two do not live in the city. And so that's fine, and I'm just going back, and Joe, has been, he converses with y'all, I don't know if he's.
We are American citizens, and that's
But he's the
all
only
it takes.
citizen that should have the right to speak.
I have interest in the city. They're not your personal business, and I'm not going to detail them for you. But I will say that if you're asking who I've spoken for, Tonight I've spoken for your neighbors, and you can talk to them and get that directly from their own mouths. That's
Okay,
another fact.
you spoke to my neighbors about my code enforcement.
That's something that they brought to me, frankly. It's
Okay,
not
and I
something-
see, would not call you, because I don't know rumors, I don't like rumors, but that's fine.
Well, I wouldn't have brought it up if you hadn't made the point that you were driving around town looking for code violations, as Ms.
Okay.
Thrasher did.
All right.
So I thought it was perfect.
We over the time frame. I'm sorry. All right, next speaker.
Next item, I've got Gary Venable, who will talk about process of forms, agendas, and city budget. Please come up.
Hey, Rick.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gary Venable, 2021 Broad Street, Statham. I'm not here tonight to criticize. Hopefully we can find solutions to make everything better for everybody. And one of the things I want to talk to you about tonight is processes of the ordinances and agendas and the budget in general. This is a request of mine, and I don't know if it can be done, but I think that a lot of confusion that some of us are having, and a lot of the questions some of us are having, is due to not having all the information available. And that's not pointing blame at any particular person or anyone else, but